Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyperroll with Autarch, and I'm going to take you on a little journey through a previous live. This is when we got promoted into Hyper on the live account. This is an account I only use for lives, but right after getting promoted, we get tossed into a game. Let me show you the load-in. As you can see, we have a couple of people here who are pretty high ranked, including the person who is currently ranked 3rd in the NA server. And the chat was pretty much as surprised as I was. I tried to get Wandering Trainer in the hope that we could just turn this into a full RNG, but the person who is number 3 got to choose the portal, and it was the Prismatic Prelude. Now we got to the first set of augments, and I decide to roll a couple of them, but then I'm left with a choice. And once again, I'm kind of going random chance here. New recruit or starter kit. My thought was, if we go starter kit, we may be able to get, we'd be able to get to a 2 cost 4 before the next augment. Then, if you get recombobulator, you can recombobulate it into a 2 cost 5. So we go with starter kit and we end up with Nami and Twisted Fate. So we're going disco at this point, which isn't a bad build. Unfortunately, with starter kit, if you don't start out with great items, you don't end up with a great start. Even though you've got a 4 cost, it's just a 1 star and doesn't really have the power behind it that it needs in order to take out competition. At this point, we did not have a headliner yet, but at 4-1 we get the choice to go to a 3-star Nami as our headliner. I decide to go for it again, hoping we're going to get the ability to recombobulate at 5-2. Normally in a Disco Dazzler build, you use your early headliner as an item holder for Twisted Fate, who you plan to get in about 8. However, now we've got a 3-star Nami that's not going to have any items since she doesn't hold up in the late game. But having a 3-star 1 cost if we get recombobulator is really good, but we did not get recombobulator. So now we kind of have to work with what we're given. Stationary support isn't necessarily bad. Heroic grab bag isn't going to work because we don't need lesser duplicators. So we end up getting a Zephyr on a training dummy. So that can provide a little more meat in front, and at least now we have a 2-star Twisted Fate. We can make a Rage Blade on him to go along with the Gnashter's Tooth. And we were hoping the 2-star Twisted Fate was going to change our fate, but we run into a Twin Terror Vex Executioner team, which, yeah, that's pretty evil. Thanks to an early Blitzcrank, we're able to get to 4 Disco 4 Dazzler, so we start to have a little bit of power. The 2-star Twisted Fate gets enough room to power up so that the Rage Blade allows him to throw enough cards that we can finally secure a win. But right now, Twisted Fate is all speed and no power, so we grab the Needlessly Large Rod in the hopes that we can increase power on Twisted Fate. We had also been missing Gragas the entire time, so now with a Gragas, we're finally up to the 5 Disco and get our second ball. But we are still missing some key elements. Twisted Fate is all speed still and no power, and we don't have tank items for our front line. So we can take things out if they hold up long enough, but we're not holding things up long enough. It is time for the final set of augments, and we are not in a good place, although we did get some better items. Then we get the ability to get crash test dummies. Now what's nice with that is it is going to send all 3 of those target dummies into the other side to create stuns. So we're going to be able to stun a large part of the opposing team. We pick up an early Ziggs and also get a Rabadon's Death Cap on Twisted Fate. We run into the person who has not been defeated yet. Yep, that's the one who's number 3 in NA. But our crash test dummies do exactly what they need to do. They stall the opposing team while Twisted Fate continues to power up, and that allows us to get a critical victory. And as you can see, that augment changed things dramatically. We were having a lot of trouble with our front line. We didn't even have a 2-star Tarek until recently, but now that we have that many crash test dummies in the back, it's keeping everyone occupied and allowing Twisted Fate to do his thing. It's time for an item choice, and it's really all about the front line at this point. We need as much meat as possible between every team and Twisted Fate. We plan to go to the 6 Dazzlers, which will give a lot of burn damage, but we need that front line to hold up. But the Twin Terror team looms large, especially since they now have a gold 3-star Vex, and they have double Twitches in the backline, so they're going to be really hard to beat. And we have a couple of interesting developments. We are 1 Twisted Fate away from gold, and we now have the 2-star Blitz, so our front line is looking much stronger, and our backline is very close to becoming nearly unstoppable. With the game hinging, we keep rolling and then find the gold 3-star Twisted Fate, trade in one of our Sonas, and we're good to go. And a gold 3-star Twisted Fate will just shred things, especially with our 3 dummies jumping into the backline, stunning, and then distracting things. And much to my surprise from the way this game started, we now find ourselves into the top 4. And we have our final item choices of the game. I'm done now with the front line. They're pretty set. I decide to go with a static shiv for Nami, so she can shred some magic resist on the opposing team. I'm hoping for a Rage Blade for Sona, who I have in the attack speed position, but it's not there. Best I can do then is red buff will at least give her some attack speed. First up, there is a Country Executioner team that has a gold 3-star Samira and gold 3-star Urgot. So the Hecarim that comes out is going to be pretty strong. But again, luckily our front line can hold up now, and the training dummies are going to get in the way and keep things distracted so we can knock them out. And just like that, it becomes us against the Twin Terror comp. And that is a very difficult comp to get through. We only have 1 life left while they have 2, so we're going to have to beat them twice in a row in order to actually win this. And you can see that this comp is not one that goes down easily. Ultimately, this ends with Twisted Fate with 130 health left. We managed to 2-star the Ziggs just before the fight and get our dummies repositioned so that we could take out both of their corners, at least for a short amount of time. That gives Twisted Fate enough time to power up. With a 2-star Ziggs now and the 6 Dazzlers just giving constant damage, you can see the burn. It made the second round a little bit easier, and it was GG for everyone, and a game did not think was possible turned into a victory. Hope you enjoyed this video, and check out the live Saturdays at 3. And as always, have an absolutely awesome day.